Josh Haston here, Israel Uncensored, on the Land of Israel Network at thelandofisrael.com. It is Sunday, the 6th of October, 2019, the 7th of Tishrei, 5780, and I am at the Gush Etzion Junction commemorating the life of Ari Fuld, Hashem Yakom Damo, on his yortzeit, the anniversary, if you will, in English, of his murder, which happened also right here at the Gush Junction. It feels like yesterday, but it's already been a year. So on today's show, it's completely dedicated to so many people who were touched by Ari, and you'll hear all the interviews coming up on the program here today. All those people, and there's so many more, who Ari touched. Unfortunately, his life was cut short right here at the Gush Junction exactly a year ago. So we're going to go ahead and air the interviews with all of the people here at the ceremony as we're getting ready to commemorate 1 year since Ari's passing. So I'm here with Col.Richard Kemp, former British commander of their forces in Afghanistan, who's here to pay his tributes to Ari Fuld. It's unbelievable that you're here. We really appreciate it. What inspired you to come out today and attend this event?
Well, Ari Fuld, I'm honoured to have called a friend. I knew him very well. I met him many times. I was deeply saddened by his murder, but at the same time I was also not surprised by the way in which he died. In fact, dying trying to prevent somebody else from getting killed and trying to stop the terrorists from being able to commit further murders. So he's an incredible man. He's always been a very brave man, and it's a real honour to have known him.
I mean, you've overseen soldiers in battle in Afghanistan, and I'm sure you've seen acts of bravery and heroism throughout all your tours of duty over there. I mean, how would you compare, let's say, if that's even possible, an Ari Fuld, you called a personal friend of yours, and soldiers who you've commanded in battle?
I think there's an enormous comparison between Israeli soldiers and British soldiers, and both of our armies are so similar. Of course, the IDF is based in many ways on the British Army, and we have the same fighting ethos, we have the same fighting spirit. I've seen the British Army, obviously, and taken part in combat with the British Army, but I've also seen the IDF in action, and I have enormous respect and admiration for both of them, and I think they're both so similar, and I would have found it an enormous honour to have fought alongside Ari, either in the British Army or indeed in the IDF.
Well, it is a true honor to have you here. Col.Richard Kemp, who's an amazing friend of Israel, who stands up for Israel. If you follow him on social media, if you don't, you should be following him on Twitter and in other places as well. Are you on Facebook, or are you mostly Twitter?
I'm mostly on Twitter, which is at Col.Richard Kemp. But don't if you're having problems sleeping, then have a look at my tweets. Otherwise, keep away from it all.
You should definitely. He's a great friend of Israel, and it's truly an honor to have you here today. I'm sure there are plenty of things you could be doing here on this trip to Israel, but paying your respects to Ari Fuld, it's truly commendable, and I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure and a privilege to be here. I have been doing a lot of work, hopefully, which will be beneficial to the IDF and to the State of Israel of being here, but it's certainly worth taking time out to come and pay my respects to this great Israeli.
We truly appreciate it and appreciate everything you do. And we are back with Dr. Harold Rode, who is an expert on the Middle East, on the Arab world, retired from many years of service with the U.S. government, and he is here today at the Gush Junction also paying his respects to Ari Fuld, Hashem Yakom Damo. If you can, Harold, tell us what exactly brought you out here today.
It's hard to put it in a few sentences. Let's say the bottom line is, because of my background and I spent so much time on the Islamic world, this has been my profession. When this happened last year, I was very interested on the Arab reaction here. How are Muslims reacting? And what put this in my mind, even that question, was that a senior person at Al Jazeera, the Qatar propaganda station, once asked me, all these attacks that we Muslims do on Jews, what's the effect? And I said, from my experience, it strengthens Jewish resolve. It doesn't. In traditional Arab countries, this is what you do. What we call terrorism is raiding, and you do this to your enemy, hoping he'll run away, and then you steal all of his stuff. And he was sort of at one point shocked. I said, in an odd way, you're strengthening the resolve of the Jewish people to be in our ancient homeland. I said, and God forbid that anybody should die. By God forbid, these people all have names. They have families and all that. But what you're doing is counterproductive.
And you can see that here today by the people in attendance who are showing up. You can see that by the residents here in Gush Etzion, throughout Judea, Samaria, Jerusalem, and all of Israel. I mean, we've taken so many hits over the last... It's not, people say this started in 1967 or 1948. I mean, we've been going through this for over 100 years. And the more, as you just said, the more they harm us, try to kill us. And we have, unfortunately, these sacrifices. I'm thinking of the story of Isaac when I'm reminded of the murder of Ari Fuld. We have those, unfortunately, but what you're saying is they're only making us stronger, and that's what you explained to your friend. That's what it sounds like.
The Muslim world expects us to act like dhimmis. Let's call them second-class citizens. Islam must rule. We Jews have our place. And that is not a seat at the table. We're not equal. They need to run things. We're not allowed to by Islamic law. And everything we're doing is a problem for them. After all, from a Muslim point of view, Allah has rejected the Jews and the Christians because we have perverted our scriptures. And that's what the Quran is, the true whatever scriptures. But the Quran also says that Allah, of course, prefers and loves the Muslims. So how come He's made the Jews so strong? And it's a problem for the Arabs. They just don't know how to deal with this.
I hope you're getting all this. We're talking to a preeminent scholar on the Muslim world who spent decades with the U.S. Was it the State Department,
the Pentagon? But the point is, the truth is, I spent many years running around the Muslim world, almost living, you could say, a Muslim life. I could once pray much better as a Muslim than I could as a Jew, both as a Shiite and as a Sunni. My goal was to find the way that we Jews and Muslims should get along, to find peace. And the sad thing is that Muslims don't have peace among each other, and so they're definitely not going to have it with us.
Yeah, we see it here in Israel, clans who are fighting. We see it obviously throughout the Middle East, and we the Jews we seek peace, and but unfortunately we have all of these people who are cut down before their time, and of course Ari Fuld was one of those. And one final point here from Dr. Harold Rode.
Sure. The local Arabs here, when they're talking among themselves, or the Arabs in Israel, and say many times I've heard them say things like, we're lucky that you Jews are here, because if you weren't, within 30 days we'd all kill each other off. Now that could come up with some interesting ideas. So, in an odd way, the Jews are keeping the peace, but the only type of peace is from above. Unfortunately, democracy is a long way off, if ever, for the Muslim world.
There you have it, folks. I hope you're appreciating what you're hearing. You're getting insight here from somebody who's been living it for decades and decades here as we commemorate the yahrzeit of Ari Fuld, Hashem Yikam Damo. May God avenge his blood. And I don't know if this is deliberate or not, but I'm seeing overhead, I'm seeing IDF planes, IDF helicopters. I see, there's a whole, I don't know if this is deliberate, a flyby. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but that symbol up there, seeing those IDF planes, that gives me hope. Everything you just said, that gives me hope to the strength. I think this could be deliberate, this flyby here. Several IAF, Israel Air Force jets flying overhead. That's the reason. That's the reason why I can sleep at night. It's because of that. Thank God we have that. Thanks so much, Harold. great for you to be here. We really appreciate it, and let's go take part in the ceremony here in just a few minutes.
Thank you. Nice being with you, Josh.
Thank you. And we're back, and we're with another friend of Ari Fuld. May rest in peace. Introduce yourself, if you can, to the audience.
Sure. Hey there, my name is Alexander Thomas from Houston, Texas, and I think the greatest thing I can say is that I'm a friend of Ari Fuld. Just to be able to say that is an honor. It's an amazing honor. So that's it.
What brings you to Israel at this time?
Wow. Baruch Hashem that I was able to come, because when we picked tickets, I'm not kidding, flight landed on the 16th of September, which is the calendar on the Gregorian calendar for when he passed. And my flight leaves tomorrow, the day after his memorial, his yahrzeit on Tishrei 7. And everything in between, I was invited to come as a speaker for a conference, and the last speaking engagement was just past Shabbat, and the first one was literally 2 days after I landed. And so everything in between the workshops and all that, I had a chance to share about my friend Ari Fuld. And so it was amazing. I thank Hashem for this. So.
Share, if you can, with the audience. I mean, how did Ari Fuld touch your life personally?
Okay, I'm going to try not to break down.
Take your time. It's not an easy day, folks. It's not an easy day at all.
It's hard to describe how a person can touch your life in just a short time, because the first time I met Ari Fuld was thanks to a friend of mine, a mutual friend, Alex Silber. And he told me, "You want to meet him?" I was like, "Yeah, it would be amazing to meet him." And I'm staying with another gentleman also in Jerusalem, in Nachlaot, that said, "Yeah, we would love to meet Ari Fuld too, but it's hard to meet Ari Fuld. He's like up there kind of thing." And so Alex goes, "No, he's a good friend of mine." I was like, "You really know him?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'll call him right now. He'll come meet with you." I'm like, "No way, Ari Fuld is coming to meet with me. I just landed." I'm like, "Nobody." This was 2017. I'm not kidding. Long story short, this is why I'm saying this, because his compassion for people, didn't matter who you were, but if you believed in Eretz Israel, in Am Israel, and I tell people, for me in Paraclete Zion, is our core values is Eretz Israel, always defend her and protect her. Am Israel, always defend them and protect them. And El Israel, he doesn't need to be defended or protected. He does it for us. And so he just needs to be honored and respected and feared, in that sense. And this is our core values, right, for Paraclete Zion. Ari lived it. I mean, he didn't say those exact phrases, but we knew, as an IDF soldier, as a true, student in the yeshivas, the way he taught self-defense, the way he did karate, the way he did anything, he did it fully. He was fully there. When he came to see me in Machane Yehuda, and I'm going, man, how is it possible that Ari Fuld is coming to see me at Machane Yehuda? All I had to do was just walk. He goes, "Don't worry, he's going to come see you. He's got a car, so he's on his way anyway. He was already there." I'm like, "Alex, if this is some sort of joke, I'm gonna, when I see you again, I'm gonna punch you." But no, he was not kidding. When I waited at Agrippa's by the entrance to Machane Yehuda, here comes Ari, and I was like, "Wow, Mr. Ari Fuld." He goes, "Come here," I mean, it was just amazing. He was so down to earth, and yet you knew this guy was a mensch among mensch, a prince among princes, a true warrior among warriors. It's hard to describe it. That's why we wear what we wear. I mean, I have that one on top of my bed. It has not moved. Literally on top of my bed, it's there. And
referring to the lion, the symbol of Ari Fuld. No, it's okay. Yeah. Just telling the radio audience, they're handing out stickers here at www.arifuld.org. So I'm gonna mention it numerous times during the broadcast, but go to arifuld.org. I'm wearing the sticker right here.
And so I have that as a magnetic sticker, bumper sticker type of thing, and I put it on my bed frame because it has iron grating that I could put it on, and it's right underneath the Israel flag. So I have that in my room. And so Ari is one of those people that truly is a Zion lion, or a lion of Zion, a lion of Yehuda, Ari Yehuda, and he lived it. There was not just talk. And thank God he could talk, because when he handled frenemies, when he got on there and did what he did, he knew how to say with a smile, to say, look, you have a right to be wrong. It's okay, You can speak what you want to speak, but it's all lies. I'm going to call it lies, and here's why, and here's the truth, and here's how it is. Come see it for yourself. This is my 7th time coming, but Hashem, I will come more. But this is my 7th time coming to Eretz Israel, and I will come here as much as I can and spend my money here. Every time the idiots tell me that this is all occupied territory. I'm like, yeah, you can't occupy your own home. That's ridiculous. And as Ari would say, show me a coin or some history when Israel actually took over Palestine from Arabs or something. Never happened. Anyway, sorry. Okay.
No, everything you said is spot on, and I just want to point out to the listeners, here you have somebody who came from 5,000 miles away, inspired by the words and the Menschlichkeit, as he said, of Ari Fuld to be here. And unfortunately, here we are on his yard site 1 year after he was murdered, just about 100 yards away from where we're standing. But I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you for all the work that you do defending Israel on social media.
We're just getting started, people, because literally, I thank Hashem, when we had that awesome broadcast, the live stream-a-thon, that was amazing, by the way. Your segment also from this area was phenomenal. Gedalia, Avi, Ben, right there, everybody that was on it, and Steven. And when I found out, I will show you this later, but my phone, the first thing I did was created a folder for Paraclitus called the Ari Fuld Project. I didn't even know. This was literally days after it happened. And when Stephen talked about the Ari Fuld Project is the official name, that's part of the full family official name, I'm like, confirmation. And our first thing we did was, in honor of Ari, we helped Ben get the flashlights to the soldiers.
Ben Goldstein, he's over there across right now.
He's just talking about him.
He's broadcasting right now. Also getting the truth about Israel, our good compadre, Ben Goldstein. He's going to cut right in. Thanks so much. Thanks for being here, and thanks for all that you do.
Thank you. Toda rabba. Thank you for being amazing.
Hi, my name is Josh Frisch. I'm a Chal Boded. I'm 19 years old, from Florida, Miami.
Lone soldier. He's wearing his IDF fatigues right now, if you will. He has the patch, arifuld.org, on his uniform, and he has the magnet. Tell us, if you can, the impact that Ari Fuld, Hashem Yikam Damo, had on your life, and the fact that you're here today as an IDF soldier.
Ari changed my life. Ari is the reason why I'm in Israel, and is the reason why I'm in the Army, actually.
Explain.
I met Ari. I saw his videos on Facebook, and I was like, I have to meet this guy. And we started talking here and there. In the end, we sat down for coffee, and I told him who I was, blah, 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 what's my story. And I ended up telling him that I wanted to draft into the American Army, possibly. It was a thought in my head, and out of nowhere, the kind of guy Ari is, we all know, he slapped me in the head. He knocks on my head. He's like, is there anything in there? What's wrong with you? And I'm just like, who is this guy slapping me? I just met him 5 minutes ago. But little did I know, this guy changed my life, and he's the reason why I'm in the Army, why I'm in Israel. And listen, Ari is gone, but he's never forgotten. He's going to stay with us for the rest of our lives. And that's all I can say on Ari. I have hours to say.
There are many stories like this, but I always tell people your story. I hope you don't mind.
No,
I tell people your story. Unfortunately now, as we commemorate the Yortzeit of Ari Fuld a year later, people who were touched by Ari, and here you have right in front of me somebody who picked up, left his family, came to Israel, and he's donning an IDF uniform because he was inspired by Ari. So it's an unbelievable story.
Thank God. Thank God, Ari. Like I said, Ari is Aluf Olam. He's the champion of the world. The words won't come out of my mouth. That's how much, it's hard to speak about him because he's that close to me. But thank God, there's this that's happening here today, and there's no other better way to commemorate him than literally standing together, as the whole idea of this organization is going to soldiers, going to their bases, and just giving and giving, because that's who Ari was. His whole thing was to give, and that's all I can say. Thank you.
An inspiring story, and I want to thank you for your service to our country.
Anytime.
Serving in the IDF, it doesn't get any better than that, more meaningful than that, and everything that you do for the Jewish people. And thanks to Ari, he brought you here, and you're here for a reason, and I want to thank you for your service.
Thank God. Thank you. Have an amazing day, John.
Thanks so much. I'm here with renowned social media activist, Israel activist, Brian of London, who came from where? All the way from Tel Aviv?
Yep, North Tel Aviv. Yeah, I had to drive up here. It's Ari.
Yeah, tell me, if you can, and briefly, your relationship with Ari Fuld, the reason you drove all the way from Tel Aviv to be here this afternoon.
Well, I got to Israel about 10 years ago, and Ari was like a constant presence. Every pro-Israel, every tour, every conference there was, I bumped into Ari and I got to know him. And just a month before he was murdered, I was on another tour of the Shomron with him. And I didn't know that was going to be the last time I saw it. And then when he gets murdered here, and we all hear, someone's been stabbed, but then through social media or a tweet from his brother, you find out that it's someone you connect with. I understand, I watch his videos. That was a horrific shock to the system. But it's part of being here, unfortunately. It's one we want to stop. But it's the price we pay to be on the land we love. And I had to come up here to pay respect to that and to see the good work that then grows from it, because that's what we do. We suffer a tragedy. What do? We build something. We don't.
And that's what Brian of London here does. From what I understand, you're no longer on Facebook, which I don't want to get into that whole story now, but you are on Twitter, right? Getting the truth out about Israel from northern Tel Aviv, and I can't tell you how important that is because of your location. It's a wonderful show of unity that you're here today, and thanks so much for coming out. We really appreciate it. And keep up all the work that you're doing. As I've said a few times before, nobody can fill the shoes of Ari Fuld, that's for sure, but everyone is doing their part in order to help with Israel's public diplomacy efforts in their own unique and an individual way. And you're one of the guys, man. You're one of the people. So thanks for everything you do.
Yeah, thanks. Find me Brian of London on Twitter, and then all the others.
All right, excellent. Thanks so much.
I'm Sahava Enklar Shapiro. What brought me here is the dedication of the van for Ari Fuld, Zichrono Livracha. Today is his Hebrew Yortzeit, and all the people who knew him, people who didn't know him, people all around from the Gush are here to commemorate this day, and also feel a little bittersweet happiness that Ari Fuld finally did get his van that he wanted so badly to go around to bring all these goodies to soldiers throughout Israel and all the bases and make the soldiers feel loved, and they are loved. And so we're here to commemorate this van.
Yeah, and I don't think we've mentioned it so far in the other interviews. I mean, we're talking about essentially a hospitality truck, which is right behind us, which was one of Ari's projects, which he was working on amongst many of the other projects. If you go to arifuld.org, you can see everything that Ari was working on and the other projects that people are working on in his memory, continuing his legacy, the things that he wanted to get done. Unfortunately, his life cut short literally 50 yards, 100 yards from where we're standing right now. And people I met some people from all over the world who are here, by the way, from the States and all over the country, all over Israel, by the way.
His message spread overseas to thousands and thousands of people, and people still miss him so very much. It could be a year, it could be 2 years, could be 5, 10. We will always miss Ari Fuld. He was truly a warrior, and the message he spread was of love of Eretz Israel and the people of Israel. It's just, what could I say? It was so strong, and we want to carry it on.
And Zahava, by the way, another very passionate Israel advocate on social media and an acclaimed author as well. You got to follow her stuff as well. Carrying the mantle. I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat this statement, but I've said it, I think, 4 or 5 times already, so I apologize to the listener. Nobody can fill Ari's shoes, but everyone can do their part and play their role in getting the truth about Israel out, and Zahava is one of those people. Thanks so much, Zahava.
Thank you, Josh.
We're going to go right to Rachel Moore, who runs Hub Etzion here in the Gush. She's a small business owner. She has a business center here, Hub Etzion, where people come and rent out offices and make connections to other people also running small businesses. She is the business queen, I would say, of Gush Etzion. Let's call her that. Rachel was just about to share a story about Ari Fuld, so I'm going to let you go ahead and do that right here, following up from Zahava.
I'm going to keep the title, like Queen of Business of Gush Etzion.
Keep it. It's yours.
Okay. I was just going to say, I remember here it's eerie talking to you, and you were on your way back from Jerusalem and could not keep up with the international press and international community inquiries flying in in real time trying to answer people's questions, and it was so surreal. It was hard to emotionally process until at least a day or two after, because there was so much that had to be done, specifically that you had to do. And it was, what was so startling was how many people so quickly responded. It was a wake up to all of us, how many people were watching, how many people cared. Like, we cared as neighbors and we cared as fellow activists, but in real time on the ground, without any ability to even emotionally process, we just saw that there was just communication coming in from literally everywhere. It was so shocking, so stunning.
Yeah, it just really shows, and I think that the people we've talked to today really show how Ari touched lives all over the world, and the fact that, you know, we're talking about the Washington Post and the New York Times and the Associated Press and all those big media outlets really wanted to hear more, and those who did not hear about him wanted to learn more about who he was and how it was possible for one person to touch so many lives. And that's really what happened, unfortunately, the day that he was murdered, right where we're standing just a few yards away.
I think we live in an age, especially I deal so much with social media, where people's following is so obvious, and that's all they do is chase after the followers. And I think what was so unique about this situation is that people had no idea how many people are following Ari. Ari didn't know. The ripple and the impact and the number of people who said they were touched was really not measured. He wasn't spending his time measuring followers. He was spending his time trying to make an impact on the ground. And so it came as such a surprise after the fact. And you could probably speak to this better than me, but I think that we're still finding that out. I think that's something that we're still learning.
You are, and just talking to people who are here today, you're finding it out from people who have come from, you know, across the ocean to be here at this memorial. So, you know, and all the stories and everything, or people are coming out of the woodwork, you know, and have been over the course of the last year, really telling their story of how they were inspired and touched by Ari. So it's unbelievable. Rachel Moore, the queen, I just promoted you. Coronated you, is that a better word? As the queen of business of Gush Etzion. You're doing holy work, bringing business to Judea and Samaria. Keep up the great work that you do. Let's only have smachot, only happy occasions here in the new year.
Amen, amen. Thanks so much, Josh, and kol kavod.
And we are here with the one and only Ben Goldstein, who's been on the show before several times, but he also, as you know, is in the circle of people who are doing amazing work for the State of Israel, and also a friend of Ari's. Ben, just your thoughts, emotions here as we stand literally about 50 yards away now from where Ari was murdered by an evil jihadist just a year ago today.
My thoughts are that this is incredible. I have a huge smile on my face because I'm just seeing so many beautiful people from our nation just showing up, just coming here off of their day and filling up this parking lot for one reason, so we could all be a part of something greater than ourselves. And look, man, we're all here temporarily. Whether we have the honor of protecting other people at the time of our death, or whether we take our last breath on a hospital bed surrounded by our family, the point is that we're all here for a greater mission. Especially here between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we're here for a greater mission, and we can all change the world in our own way. So Ari Fuld, a man who just took the world by storm in his life, and almost seemingly even more so in his death. And to that, all I can do is say L'chaim and Am Yisrael Chai, because that's all I'm seeing right now. The younger generation, Ari's wife, Ari's children, they're here. They're here to watch this beautiful event unfold, where all these people are going to have amazing memories and feelings of Ari, and then they're going to watch this truck go throughout Israel, feeding some of their sons who are right now serving on the border, some of their daughters who are right now serving the state of Israel in uniform. So to me, it's a tremendous honor to be here, to be a part of this in my own way, and to see this unity. I love it. I'm in love with it.
There you have it from the one and only Ben Goldstein, or Goldstein, as he is known as on social media.
Thank you, Josh.
And thanks so much.
Thank you, brother.
Nadia Matar, Yudit Katzover, Women in Green, and Israel's Sovereignty Movement. We're standing opposite Oz V'Gaon, which now houses the new Ari Fuld of blessed memory lookout. And Nadia and Yudit, of course, building in Gush Etzion, doing so much for the Jewish people and the state of Israel. Your thoughts here as we commemorate the Yortzeit of Ari Fuld, Hashem Yakom Damo.
I will translate what Judith says. מה המחשבות שלך על ארי?
זה היה כל כך טבעי
It was so natural
שנקים לזכרו מצפה
that in
בגוש
memory of
עציון.
Ari Fuld we will build something,
את כל
a lookout.
המטיילים, את כל החברים, את כל המסבירנים
All
שהוא עבד איתם,
the
הוא הביא
people he
אותם
worked
לגוש
with,
עציון.
he brought to גוש עציון, he
להראות
brought
להם את גוש
to
עציון,
עוז
להראות
וגאון,
להם את ארץ ישראל. אז זה פשוט היה
to show
התבקש
them
שצריך
the land of
מצפה
Israel.
שרואים משם את כל
The
עמק
night he was
הברכה,
murdered, we
את
knew
כל
that
גוש
we
עציון.
had to build something in his memory
זה היה משהו
that will
שנוגע להנשמה
express
של
his
ארי.
soul, the soul of the love of Eretz Israel. And as Judith says, the idea of having a lookout that overlooks from Hebron to Jerusalem, and of course over Emek Bracha, over the valley of blessing, that is something that is so mat'im for him. So the night that he, on the very night that he was murdered, we already started with the building and the expansion of Oz V'Gaon as a Zionist response to his murder, with a very simple, very clear message to the enemy also. You are not going to break us. We have the strength of Ari Fuld. We continue with his message of love of Eretz Israel, devotion and loyalty, and we will only expand our hold in the land of Israel. That was Ari.
There you have it from two pioneers in their own right, Judith Katzover, Nadia Matar, Oz V'Gaon, Women in Green, Israel Sovereignty Movement. And now, if you're here in the Gush, you'll have to check out the lookout in memory of Ari Fuld, very close to in Oz V'Gaon.
Instead of entering the main entrance of Oz V'Gaon, you continue another 300 meters next to the antenna, and you'll see the most amazing view and most amazing lookout that was built in his honor and memory.
In his honor and memory. Thanks so much, and let's get together on happier occasions, smachot. But that being said, as you said, as Ari was a pioneer, look how many people are out here today. The message is, we're Am Yisrael Chai. That's the bottom line. Thank you so much. The last interview for today, we could not go without speaking to Avi Abelo. He was a lifelong friend of Ari Fuld, and also Avi. You know, I've said it, I think, about 8 times so far in this broadcast. Nobody can fit into Ari Fuld's shoes, but Avi is taking the bull by the horns and taking on all these projects through arifuld.org to fulfill Ari's dreams and legacy and all the pro-Israel work that he was doing. So, Avi, we're gonna end today's show with you. I just want to know your thoughts and feelings here on the Yortzeit. And I know the VIPs are coming in for the ceremony right now. I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but just tell me your thoughts here 1 year later after we lost Ari.
Wow, such a heavy question. Basically, very mixed emotions. Here, 1 year anniversary. It's as if it was yesterday, and it was a year ago, a year that he's not with us. Very sad. Sad that my friend is no longer with us, my partner in standing up for Israel. I mean, daily partner. We sat next to each other in synagogue every day and talked and strategized and did stuff together and did stuff separately. So on the one hand, there's that sadness that we all feel when we lose someone. On the other hand, here's a year later, and a dream of his is being fulfilled. We're at the dedication ceremony for this truck to service IDF soldiers, which was his dream. He started that project before he was murdered, and here the whole Jewish people has helped him finish the project. And now, instead of it just being in memory of his friend Yehoshua, which was Ari's plan, it's now in memory of him and Yehoshua, keeping both of them alive. And it shows the resilience of the Jewish people, because that's what the Jewish people are about, always moving forward while looking back. And that is apropos our Jewish New Year. Jewish New Year, basically the Jewish people are told, hey, you can all repent, look back on the mistakes you made, look back on who you are, where you came from, and now and be better. So the Jewish lifestyle is about looking back, but always looking forward. And here, even when we miss a close friend, family member, neighbor, we hold on to that sadness, we keep it there, but then we push forward and we move forward and we build and we do good and we spread goodness to the world to make the world a better place, holding on to the memory of those no longer with us.
Couldn't have said it any better. Avi Abelo doing so much behind the scenes to continue the legacy of Ari Fuld, Hashem Yakom Damo, and I think that's a good place to wrap up the interviews Avi, thanks so much for joining us and everything you do, whether it's the truck or all the other projects. Again, go to arifuld.org and see all the important work that Avi and Steve Levitt and the Fuld family and everyone else is doing behind the scenes to fulfill Ari Fuld's legacy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Josh, and it should be a good, healthy year for all of us and for all Am Yisrael.
Amen, amen. And there you have it, folks. Very, very powerful words from so many different people whose lives were touched directly by Ari Fuld. So much to take away from today's ceremony, from Ari's life as a whole. And I keep directing people to the website because I think it's important that we need to, as many people said, continue the legacy of Ari Fuld and only grow stronger. Our enemies try to murder us, try to keep us down. But in the end, we are going to win. The road is long, and we need to lead and live our lives like Ari Fuld did. Hashem Yikam Damo. So from the Gush Etzion Junction, Josh Haston here, another edition of Israel Uncensored on the Land of Israel Network at thelandofisrael.com. It is Sunday, October the 6th, 2019. The 7th of Tishrei, 5780, have a meaningful Yom Kippur, a meaningful fast for those who are, call it a celebration of Yom Kippur. Unfortunately, we're not going to talk about the meaning of the holiday and how it's actually a happy day. We're not going to get to that this week. Get in touch with me during the week, Josh, at thelandofisrael.com, on Facebook, Joshua Haston on Twitter, at Josh Haston on Instagram as well, as hundreds here are gathered at the Gush Junction in memory of Ari Fuld. Go to the website, arifuld.org, and get involved today in fulfilling Ari's legacy. Have a meaningful fast and a Shana Tova to all. Shalom from Gush Etzion, Israel.
This is Eve Harrow, host of Rejuvenation on the Land of Israel Network, recording in the hills of Judea. Wishing all of my listeners a healthy, happy, peaceful 5780. May we be blessed with a year of personal fulfillment and growth and merit wise leadership on all levels, in the land and beyond. Shana Tova, Ugmar Chatima Tova.